Hello YouTube, this is Asatsu5. I just got back from the coast. For those of you who watch my Instagram, you probably saw some of my coastal pictures, like of the gaff top I caught, the super moon that I took pictures of, and I got a couple stories, or I don't know if you call them stories. Well, I do. I got a couple stories for while I was at the coast, and a couple stories of when I got back. This is my Hellcat. This is unloaded, nothing in the magazine. It's unloaded. And anyways, I recently saw a video that tried to explain the proper gun grip or pistol grip to shoot accurately. No one's ever taught me how to shoot a handgun correctly. It's just something that I kind of went out and did, and I tried to do my best. And anyways, after I saw this video on how to grip the gun, I was like, I want to try my Hellcat, because I love my 5.7, but at the end of the day, it's a full-size duty pistol, and this is a lot more is more easily concealed and carried. So I took this to the shooting range, and I changed my grip, and I shot at the paper target that I normally shoot at. You've seen it before in my videos, and my my groups were tighter and more consistent. I had a few flyers, but in general I was getting a group probably about that big, but unfortunately it was to the left of point of aim, which irritated me. I was like, oh man, like that is an improvement on my grouping, but it's to the left of the point of aim. And so I stopped shooting at the paper target, and I went to the steel silhouettes. And for those of you who watch my shooting videos, I can shoot the steel silhouettes with my custom Ruger Mark III. I can hit it with my Smith & Wesson 5.7. I can hit it with a full-size 357 Magnum pretty consistently. But I was never able to hit it with this. So I changed my grip. And keep in mind, every magazine that I'm shooting, I don't have one of those magazine loaders for this, but every magazine I was shooting held about 6 rounds, and with every magazine that I shot at the steel silhouette targets that are a good distance downrange, I was hitting it at least once, sometimes twice, and that was with every magazine. So I was very happy with that. I think sometimes it's a little bit easier to aim at those small silhouette targets, and they're about the size of a 12-year-old center body mass. They're not huge, but they're a decent center body mass size. And anyways, I was hitting it, not every time, but with every magazine, and I was pretty happy with that. So definitely I'm getting better at shooting the Hellcat, but I still am not to the point where this is going to be my regular concealed carry handgun. I want to get a little bit better at it before I adopt it as my concealed carry handgun. I still carry the Smith & Wesson 5.7, and sometimes I'll carry this if I'm just going to be in the vehicle going through drive-thrus or whatever. That way if someone tries to rip me out of the car, I have something I can pull out at close distance. But anyways, that's neither here or there. I improved my shooting slightly, and I was like, oh cool, so I'm anticipating that I'm going to be able to shoot this somewhat good soon. And so I needed a new optics cover plate. I put my Shield RSMC, or whatever it's called, RCS, it's a Shield, a micro red dot. I put it on here, and when I got my 5.7, I moved it and put it on my 5.7, but I lost my optics cover plate. So I ordered an aftermarket one, and I ordered some screws, and the screws didn't fit. And then I ordered another set of screws, and the screws didn't fit. This has 2 different size screws, and for some reason it's difficult to get the actual screws for this without going through the factory. And I was pretty frustrated. And then I looked in my closet, and I found a box, and it had my old optics cover plate and the old screws, so it worked out. Well, anyways, when I bought the aftermarket optics cover plate, they had different designs. They probably had about 50 different designs and a few different colors. And I was looking at the Calico Jack Rackham Jolly Roger, which to me is badass, but I was like, I really don't want that on my handgun in case I actually have to go to trial. So what I chose was the Rampant Lion, or the Heldrick Lion. And I think it looks very elegant and really cool. And plus, this is the Hellcat model. The lion is a cat, so I thought it fit. And I'm looking forward to mastering this pistol. Also, I'm very interested in the Springfield Armory Prodigy with the 4.5-inch barrel. I held a Prodigy today. It was cool. It seemed really cool, seemed really comfortable. I know it's bigger, but I want one. It's not going to happen anytime soon, but I do want one. So anyways, that's what happened with this gun, and I'd like to be able to carry it soon when I get more accurate with it. Anyways, I just got back from the coast, and while I was at the coast, I visited, or I hung out with my brother from a Latina mother's family. They like me and they feed me, and they're very interested in my Spanish progress. So I spoke a good bit of Spanish with them, and Spanish was kind of the theme of the trip. And then I hung out with my dad's friend from high school and his kids and family and grandkids, and I hung out with my uncle, and then my friend Daniel. He showed up at the end of the week. I was there 4th of July weekend, and then later the next weekend he showed up, and we fished a little bit with a drone. I caught a gaff top, but it was a terrible fishing experience because the wind was terrible, and it was our first time using a drone. It was a mess, but I did catch a gaff top, which tells me we didn't get the line far enough out. Anyways, he takes me to his place in Kemah, and then he's like, "Hey, I want to show you around the kind of the nightlife in Houston." And so we go to this bar, and also when you can't carry a gun in 51% locations, and Houston's a pretty rough place, so I wanted a tool. I chose as my self-defense tool this Olight Warrior 3S. This is one of my favorite flashlights. It has a battery indicator and it has a mode indicator. Super bright. I can't remember how bright it is, but let's see if I can. It has a sensor on it, so if it comes on in your pocket, it'll dim, and then when it gets away from the sensor, it gets brighter. So, cool flashlight. Anyways, we go up to the doorman. The doorman frisked me. In the way that he frisked me, I could have snuck a knife in, but I just didn't want to chance it since we had to walk a block from our parking space. And anyways, he frisked me and he says, "What's that?" And I was like, "That's my flashlight." He says, "You can't bring that in. I'll give it to you after you leave." I was like, "Okay, are you going to be right here?" He's like, "Where else will I be?" It's kind of an a-hole thing to say, but instead of dwelling on that, I said, "Hey man, I'm just trying to clarify. I don't know if there's going to be a shift change or if something's going to happen. I just want to make sure you're going to be here." So we go into the club, and my friend Daniel says, "I got some friends coming," and then he's typing on his phone. Then he hands me his beer and he says, "Hold my beer, I'm going to go get him." So I'm looking at this Corona, and I think to myself, I get this memory. I get a memory flashback of my friend Daniel telling me when he goes to Mexico, doesn't matter if it's full or empty, he always carries a glass beer bottle. That way, if something happens with the cartel or some lowlife tries to mess with them, he can smash the bottle on their head, potentially cut them up or stab them, and then escape. That's why he carries a beer bottle. And so I was thinking to myself, wow, this doorman made me a more dangerous person by taking away my less lethal tool, and then giving me something that would end with me being charged with assault with a deadly weapon that I'd have to defend myself in court. I mean, all I'd have to do with this is strobe and then call for the bouncer, call for the on-duty police officers that they hire, and it would have been not that big of a deal for me, but the beer bottle would be assault with a deadly weapon. Anyways, I thought that was hilarious, and so we hung out there until the bar closed. And as everybody's funneling out, I go up to one of the other bouncers and I said, "Hey, my flashlight was taken when I came in here. I'd like it back." He goes, "Go talk to her." It was this short female police officer, and she had some muscles, but she was shorter than me, which I don't know why that stood out to me. But anyways, I walked up to this police officer. I was like, "Hi, ma'am. The doorman took my flashlight, and he's not where he told me he would be. I'd like my flashlight back." And she goes, "Why did he take your flashlight?" I was like, "I don't know. He just took it. He said I couldn't bring it in." It's like, "That's weird." So she says, "As soon as everybody leaves, I'll go find that doorman, and we'll get your flashlight." So a minute or so passes, and then I see the doorman that took my flashlight. He's probably 10 yards away, maybe 15 yards away, and he yells at me, "I told you I'd get it back to you." And then he does this and strobes me with it. The guy was playing with it. So I'm convinced that he decided he wanted to play with my flashlight, and that's the reason why he didn't want me to bring it into this to the club. And I have some insights on what you're allowed to bring into a club depending on what kind of club it is, because those clubs where I can open carry a knife, there's clubs where I carry pepper spray, flashlights, and then there's clubs where you have to be sneaky about what you carry, whether it be pepper spray or what have you. So anyways, that's the story. I'm running low on battery, so I guess this is it. I'm a Soxy 5 and I'm out.